Back in 2016, I played my very first Age of Empires 2 tournament. I was not the most popular person back then, not that I am now. I had maybe 50 people watching me live on Twitch, and maybe a few thousand people watching my YouTube channel at the time. Maybe 3,000 or 4,000 YouTube subscribers. I'm not sure. But this was game 1 in the first tournament I've ever played. It was Masters of Islands, and at this point, I'd given up on water. My opponent was on his way to Castle Age. I knew the only way that I could win this important tournament game was to transport villagers and build archer ranges on my enemy's island. Now, since it is islands, I had no way of knowing exactly where my opponent was. So as you can see, I'm guiding and escorting that transport to the destination. And I'm desperate at this point. I am desperate to get to his island. And I find it. I find what I think is his island. I find what I think is a little peninsula on the end of the island, which would be perfect. Because I don't want him to scout me. If he scouts me, he walls or will make siege in Castle Age, and it's over. I see his navies here. I realize, wow, he will have no clue. Let's distract him. Let's sail to the north and have him chase me so I can build these archery ranges and have a chance at a comeback. There's the first archery range. Now, I was feeling pretty good about this because I built my barracks at home, so I was able to hide the fact that I was doing this a little bit easier. I didn't know my opponent was on the way to Castle Age, but in the things you missed, I lost my fishing ships, and I had pretty poor engagements. Obviously, I had worse macro, too, because that guy's already going to be up. I have 100 food. Yet now I see he's in Castle Age, and I know, okay, well, we've got to make more archers. So, first archer range is down. This is a great position. I could run right in. He might have wood lines. He might have golds. And even if he has the navy, if I'm on his land, it could change everything. Now, I was super nervous. Nowadays, I stream for a lot more, and I don't really like play in tournaments, and you'll see why in a second. But I don't know if I would be nervous nowadays. I probably have more experience streaming in front of people live. But back then, I had 50 people, and I was freaking out. The jitters were more than I would have ever expected. And so I build 1, and 2, and 3 archer ranges on his island, a neutral island. I thought that that island was something like this, guys. I thought that I was on the end of his island, but I'm beginning to realize I've actually landed this useless island in the center with all of my archery ranges. I'm producing archers, I have archer upgrades, I'm ready to surprise him, and oh boy, this is embarrassing. I think at this point I realize, yep. At this point I realize what I've done, and I call the GG. First tournament ever, boys. First tournament ever. And this is what I do. This is my life. I mean, I'm not at all surprised. It couldn't have been the second game in the tournament ever. It couldn't have been the 10th. It had to be the very first. Vokial is a very good player. I ended up losing this best of 3, 2-0 to him. And nobody really knew about this because most of the old-timers weren't bringing it up. And then one day, someone mentioned it on my Twitch stream a few weeks ago, and I decided to tell my audience the story. And ever since then, people have been making comments like, T90, I love your channel, started following you on YouTube. When are you going to make the 3 archer range on neutral island build order video? T90 official, I really appreciate your support. You've helped me through some rough times where I've built archer ranges on neutral islands. Those types of things. So my chat likes to troll me. I like to troll them back. And many people in the YouTube comments have been confused because they'd never heard about this. So naturally, I made a video. Just promise not to make fun of me too much. Okay? T90, which one of your build order tutorials on YouTube covers building 3 archer? God. You got me. I thought that was a real question. You got me. Bozo Boy says, like Cav on houses as our... Okay, I can't see your message anymore because people are laughing. That's not funny. Alright? That's not funny. Kid Bogus viewers are wondering how many archery ranges to build on the neutral island. Ducks. Stop it. T90 officials, should they go to the center and build archers on the... The center docks are a lottery on this map. Yes, Cybzek, exactly. They're a lottery on this map.